can start taking action. And now you've got 80 individuals that are surrounding the Central Intelligence Agency because it's in the same neighborhood.
Well, I understand. See, here's the deal. The only reason why the Illuminati has been so effective and they've done what they've done is because they're good at it, and they've been doing it for 1,000+ years. What we, the people, need to do is we need to run their playbook against them. Once we start running their playbook against them, I guarantee you that everything will change.
Yeah.
It's like in Vietnam, we didn't know anything about guerrilla warfare. Then after Vietnam, they have a special warfare school. So what we need to do is we need to start running that off of their playbook. And once you start doing that, that's the only way you're going to affect change. I know so many people that are smart constitutionally. I know common law lawyers. I know people that have been teaching the Constitution for 30 years. I know one gentleman that has access to this day. He's a retired NSA operator. He teaches the Constitution. Okay? It's good that these people are out there and doing what they're doing, but there's nobody willing to pick up arms and bear arms against this country. Our problem is everybody is so dumbed up, and we're all a bunch of sheeple. But the Constitution states that we, the people, run this country. The government doesn't run us, we run the government. And what's happened since Ronald Reagan left office is it's progressively gotten worse over the last 30 years. And we need to start running Illuminati playbook moves and start doing stuff. If not, my son is going to have a hell of a time when he gets to be older. And I would like to see a bunch of people get there, whether it's peaceful or it's not peaceful. I don't care. But I'm telling you, if somebody stood up somewhere, and I think the best thing to do would be to do a DC thing. Because once you have effectively taken that 10 square miles, I'm telling you what, the whole world will drop what they're doing and glue themselves to the TV. And then and only then will you be able to affect the change that you need to make.
Yeah, I like the DC idea. I would be definitely amenable to DC. Really anywhere. I think that we focus here on Virginia because this is where we are. You know, Maryland too. But this is also where the nuclear submarines are. It's where a lot of nuclear weapons are. It's where a Federal Reserve Bank is. There's a couple Federal Reserve banks within 100 miles of us right here. It's where a large percentage of the population is.
One of the main fusion centers.
One of the main fusion centers is, a couple miles from where we're sitting right now, like just 2 miles down the road. We're right in the middle of it. We're right in the middle of all of this tyranny. And we like operations here because this is where the country was founded, and also it's so overtly written in the law that we can't do anything illegal or unlawful. It's impossible. We can't do it.
That gets back to you being a fucking American patriot. It gets back to you understanding the Constitution and doing the right thing. It has nothing to do with Big Brother or the Illuminati or the IMF or the globalists. The thing is you guys are sitting in the belly of the beast. And the best place to strike is from inside the belly of the beast. And those are military tactics that I learned 30-some odd years ago. So, I'm not saying that you guys should run out and let me get a nuke plant, because then you just be out there that you're having homegrown terrorists. But
of course.
There's got to be something that y'all can do down there that you can get your point across. So I'm going to tell you something. In the last year and a half, I've been traveling around this country dealing with BLM. I've been dealing with Border Patrol. I've been dealing with ICE. I've been dealing with DEA. And I'll tell you what, the general consensus of just the people that I've run into and people that I've talked to, which are tens of thousands of people, than where it is, and that would have happened to a white person, and I'm not being a racist, I'm just not that way. Even if they would have rioted and turned on their own town and destroyed it, there were hundreds of thousands of people waiting. All we need is a spark. Okay? We just need a spark. We need the right person to make the right move at the right time. And I'll tell you what. Everybody behind every blade of grass in this country that's a patriot or a veteran, oath keeper, 3%er, they will come out of the woodwork to make this happen. Realize how close we are. We just need the right time, the right place. That's why I went up to the bunny ranch. I don't care about the cows. I don't care about the bunnies, the tortoises, the unicorns. I don't care about a family that's being oppressed. I went there because some asshole had the balls to post Corn off an area saying this is your First Amendment zone. I went up there because I don't like the government. I don't like BLM. I spent a better of last year going around this country butting heads with the BLM. Okay?
And to help save the cows. You better add them cows back in there. I'm gonna.
Well, of course, Harvey, because that's the best hamburger I had since I was a kid. You know, seriously, it wasn't the fact that they were going after one family. It's the fact that they were stepping over their bounds. They hired personal contractors, which are mercenaries, to do their job. When I was there, I'd go in the mesquite, take a shower once a week, and I would talk to local people. I talked to local BLM, and they told me that the people that were out there that day at the bridge, that those were all contractors that were hired by BLM to come in and dig in. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that all BLM people are bad, but a majority of them are. I had an incident. I went to Whining, Utah. Okay? I went to recapture Canyon. The sheriff there told me that there were going to be no people in the hills. Okay? I was there that day. I was leaving. A guy I met there sent me a picture, and the picture showed 3 BLM guys with sniper rifles that were walking out the same canyon that a whole bunch of protesters just went down. Okay? That is another, it just gets back to what I'm saying is, all you need, brother, is you just need the right person at the right time, the right place, to set the right spark. Because the deal is there. There's people all across this country that are so mad and so tired, but they need a reason. They need that reason to justify what needs to be done. So, yeah, and I'm the same way. I'm nobody popular. I'm just some poor schmuck that runs around and deals with drug cartels and illegal aliens. But people like yourselves that have a voice, that have a following, need to think about the position that you're in and where you're at and how to get that first little spark, to hit that tender to light this big keg of fire. And once you do, everything's going to change. And I've been seeing this for the last 20, 25 years, but nobody seems to
That's what we're doing.
that person. I don't want to use the word new Messiah or whatever, but somebody needs to be there to do it, brother.
Well, it's interesting that that you brought up the infiltration of these of these militia movements and populist movements, and also that you brought up like what's the thing that's gonna kick this whole thing off? How you asked the question, how much more are folks gonna take of this before they stand up and do something? And Glenn and I were just like looking at each other when you were saying this, because that's the question that we ask ourselves at the end of every single day. What can we do? Who can we talk to? I mean, there are hundreds and thousands of folks who have worked with us over the years, but again, it goes to a certain point, just far enough to like make them feel, make folks feel like they've stood up a little bit, and then it fizzles out. And that's what we think about, and that's what we're searching for constantly, is that one spark. we're ready to go. When is everybody else going to be ready to go? We got plans. We just need people. We know how to get the work done. We just need folks, to be in the right position where we can know what to do. And again, we do this sometimes. We'll have demonstrations, and we're not sure whether it's going to be 50 people there or whether it's going to be 12 people there. And if it's 50 people, we have one plan. And if it's 12 people, we'll get a lot done, but we have a different plan. So we just need to know what we're working with. We need to have folks who are honest and
that'll show up.
And will show up and are honorable and comprehend what we're doing. One thing I'm shocked at is I figured that there would be more folks like us. That this would be a thing.
Chris,
Yeah.
you have another caller with a question.
All right, let's go for it.
Here you go, caller. You are now engaged.
Hey, this is Donald in Alabama.
Hey, greetings.
Hey, Donald.
Hi, I am part of the KOA militia, which is the Oathkeepers militia, AOK. And what I did was I went down to the commissioners with a paperwork that I got from Florida when they recognized Santa Rosa County as militia. So I took my militia measure and I changed it to Madison County, Alabama, and I put it across to put on the agenda for a vote. Of course, it went into complete opposition mode. But I read it out loud during the public. You have a public time. They give you a couple minutes to talk. So that's how you get stuff put on the record. And I made the news down here. And I got interviewed on the news. Well, what's this about? You want everybody in Madison County, Alabama to be militia members? I said, no. I just want the recognition of the fact that we the people are militia. And when we fall out, like our founding fathers taught us, everybody should have their arms ready at hand when they need be. Now, some people are disabled and they can't help, but they can do their own thing, like, they can put water bottles and stuff together to help. So everybody's got a civic duty, and that's what we need to instill back in the American people, is the civic duty part. Without any sacrifice, there is no freedom. There is no liberty.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's key. Yeah, we do that here in Richmond. It is a great tool to go to a city council meeting. A lot of times, everyone here in Richmond is singing from the city of Richmond down to the North Carolina border on the PBS station live, and then it's replayed throughout the week every night. But yeah, we can reach a lot of folks through those city council meetings. A county board of supervisors.
When they let you speak.
We've had issues in the past with them, cutting us off and even, dragging us out of council chambers, which was a pretty well-known incident. But it is the most direct thing. You don't have to travel to D.C. You don't have to travel to your state capital. You got a local municipal town meeting or county meeting everywhere in the United States, and the law applies the same way in every location. The USA, the Constitution for the USA is the law of the land. It gives all power to the people, and it is very, very ingrained in that document that there is no Constitution without the constitutionally mandated right and duty of the American public to be a part of the militia. And that's just it. You can't weasel your way out of it, because obviously when the folks get out of their service, we see what happens. Our country falls apart. I mean, our country's garbage now. It's really a bunch of crap. Like, we don't have any good leaders. We're not producing anything that's, furthering, the betterment of humankind. We just have nothing really good about what the United States as a country or the government, of course, there's nothing good about what the government's doing. So again, that's what we get. Because some folks laid down on the job, including ourselves, you know, we've got a lot of work to do. And the work has to start now. And I commend you for going to the city council meetings in your hometown and catching them. You put in a lawful legal action in a court of record. You set when the court of record is. What's the court of record? Well, the court of record is anything that the people say, because the people are in charge of government. And if the judiciary is part of the government, wouldn't anything that the people say supersede anything out of any judiciary of the government? The answer is yes. So, go ahead, caller, I'm sorry.
That's what you do. You expose them. You show that they're not going to put it on the agenda. Not going to vote on it. You've got the paperwork. They've all got copies of it. You've read it out loud. And then they sit there and they do not follow through because they've already been bought and paid for. They're not there for the people. They're there to control people.
Oh yeah, they're low-level criminals, and they're big fish in a little pond, and they are, exactly like you said, bought and paid for crooks. Criminals, crooks, none of them are any good. And this is a question often asked of me because, you know, I'm known here, maybe in Richmond, as more of maybe just a municipal political figure than, you know, maybe the connection with the militia movement or a constitutional scholar, you know, a banking analyst. So they asked me a question like it's some sort of accusation that they're making at me. Well, you don't like anybody. Well, okay, like they're putting me on the spot. Name one good politician. I bet you can't do it. And I say, you're right, I can't. Because I know these people. Excuse me, I know these persons. Because they're certainly not people. They're government agents. And that's what the police say when they go, Chris, why are you so accusatory towards me? Why do you think everything I say is a lie? And my response to a man who asked me this direct question, his name is Major Steve Drew of the Richmond Police Department, is simple. Well, Steve, I know you. That's why I'm saying this. I've had many interactions with you in the past, personally and professionally. That's why I'm saying you're a liar and that I don't trust anything you say, because I notice and take note of your actions. So, yeah, that's right. They are crooks, and you are above them. And we need to start putting this into action where it's just more than us making lawful statements. It's...
Tell them straight out. Look, your rule of order says that my agenda has to be approved by at least one of you 7 council members of the commission here. I'm standing before you commissioners with the paperwork. Each of you can see it again. I have read it out loud. Now, it's one of you going to bring it to the floor to be voted upon. And they all just sat there in silence.
Well, that
like
sounds
here.
very familiar.
Yeah.
And I will say that we you know, over the past week and a half or here or so in Richmond, we have had many in-depth discussions with city council members about their lack of knowledge of parliamentary rules of procedure, and it has been documented during a live meeting that the president of the Richmond City Council has never even read Robert's Rules of Order. So, I mean, again, we would laugh at these folks. We mock them. We've sat on Capitol Hill and sat with ranking members of the Judiciary ranking members of the Judiciary Committee and the Armed Services Committee of Congress, and we laugh at them and their lawyers, and we mock them, and we say, you're ridiculous, you're a liar, you're a fool, and we're laughing at you on camera in your own office. So again, of course these guys, they don't even abide by their own unlawful rules. And they don't even know what they are.
Our job is the people to be civic-minded at all times. And if you're not part of a local militia, then start your own local militia.
Amen. Amen. Everything else is a waste of time. If you are involved in political activism, or I don't like that word, but if you're involved in the body politic in the United States of America and you are not familiar and forwarding the ideas of the lawful militia, then you are wasting time and you are counterproductive. I should say one is wasting time and one is counterproductive. I agree 100%. That's the key. Everything, even before I comprehended these concepts, smarter individuals than myself, who are much more knowledgeable, were putting these seeds in my mind. We're saying, without the Second Amendment, none of the other amendments matter at all. They don't mean a thing, and we knew this before the Constitution was even drafted. We knew it well. And we need to get back to that because, again, don't agree to anything that's against your best interest. Everything that the government puts forward to you, that they mandate, that your servant mandates that you comply with, is against your best interest.
Oh, you're talking about Obamacare now. You're talking about getting the deadline. The line of
I'm talking about that, but not limited to that in any way. Because I don't want to get too far caught up into unconstitutional Obamacare, because then folks might think that, that's something different than every other thing that the government does, which is also unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional at its base. We covered that. We went into great depth, and I know that everyone on this After Hours call knows this, but sometimes we here in Richmond, we get caught up into the minutia and go like, well, this is illegal, and then this rule of procedure didn't go forward like it should have, and then it's like, well, wait a second. They bond us in these agreements that we have nothing to do with and enslave us through debt. And all of that is unlawful, and everything else stems from that point. So of course, everything else beneath that is going to be fraudulent and criminal as well.
Exactly.
So there we have it. We cannot negotiate with these folks. We are going to make these requirements, and I'm about to run out of time on my phone, I think. So I'm gonna. Maybe sign off, or maybe I'll see if I can charge this thing up again.
Call it here and then
continue
next week.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week. I can even be back before then if folks want to do something.
You'll be on the show tomorrow.
During the week, we have Glenn and I have a weekly show that we do where we got that scheduled tomorrow, so I'm just throwing out there. I go on. It's been maybe about a month and a half since I've been on Al Alam television, but that allegedly has 300 million viewers. And before that, they would put me on Press TV a bunch. But I mean, basically, this is the idea that we've been putting out there. Even in those international banking cartel series that have, for the stuff that I do, it has a lot of views and a lot of folks paying attention. So, I mean, we're ready to roll. I really appreciate everything, and I'm really looking forward to the next time we can get together and discuss these issues. And whenever, I'm ready at the drop of a hat. So, y'all can just let me know what you think.
Chris, I want to thank you for doing tonight's show. I think you did awesome. I'm sure everybody agrees with me. I can't wait for you to come back next week and do the next one.
Okay. All right. Well,
You can feel free to call in at any time. This line is open and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is Patriots Information Hotline.
Awesome. Thanks. Maybe we'll call in part of the time tomorrow during the show if there's not any if we're not interfering in any way with anyone else. So I'm gonna sign off, and I'm gonna thank everybody who called in and listened, and just anybody who's pushing forward this agenda. It's the most serious issue that we face, and I thank you all, and God bless. Thank you very much.
God bless you and happy Valentine's.
All right, happy Valentine's, everybody. Peace out.